Adono b'chio B'tzion U'mispei
I'm Esti Herskowitz. I'm a tour guide in Israel, and we're going to be learning together a Kinah called Zechor Hashem. It is the first Kinah that we read on Leil Tisha B'Av, immediately after Megillat Eicha. When we read the Kinah, when we're standing at the place of destruction, it takes on a much deeper significance. The meaning becomes much more significant. And so we are going to be reading different sections of the Kinah as we walk through the area that the destruction actually happened. Zechor Hashem ma haya lanu, oy, habita ro'ed cherpatenu, oy mehaya lanu. Remember Hashem, what has befallen us. Whoa, look and see our disgrace. What has befallen us? Nafla ateret roshenu, oy, ki nisraf beit mikdashenu, oy mehaya lanu. The crown of our head has fallen because our holy temple has been burnt down. Woe, what has befallen us. We're now at the southwestern corner of the Temple Mount. Today, it's called the Jewish Quarter, the Rova HaYehudi. In the time when the temple was standing, it was known as the Upper City. And now we can see why. Above us is the bridge or flyover that brought the foot traffic from the Upper City to one of the entrances of the Temple Mount. It's called Robinson's Arch because Edward Robinson in the 1850s figured out what it was. All of the destruction from the top of the mountain had come down into this valley and had covered up all of the wall until we got to that. It's only in 1967 that we were able to come back and dig through our own history to find out what had been here before. If we remove that modern wall, we would be at the Kotel. We are standing now also at a section of the Western Wall. We're just further to the south. When the Romans gained access to the Temple Mount, to Har HaBayit, they put it to fire. All of these stones are of soft limestone, which means that though they look like they're hard rock, they're actually soft rock with little pockets in them. When it rained, the pockets filled with water. And even though much of that water evaporated during the summer months, some of that water remained. And when the Romans put the Beit HaMikdash to torch, that water inside became boiling point, rolled around, and the rocks exploded. They fell over the top and fell into this valley, filling it totally. And those rocks covered the sections that were built here, mainly administrative buildings and shops for the Beit HaMikdash area. These stones over here are part of the original building that was built on top of the platform where the Beit HaMikdash stood. In other words, these stones are from the buildings where the Beit HaMikdash was. They exploded and fell down into the valley. See how beautifully hewn they are. See the beautiful, immaculate stonemasonry of these stones. This is Tisha B'Av. This is what happened, how it happened, where it happened, when it happened. Our Kinah continues. Shavat masos libenu oy, ki nivtelu olei raglenu. Gone is the joy of our hearts because the festival pilgrimage has been discontinued. Woe, what has befallen us. We've walked around to the southwestern corner of the Temple Mount. The Beit HaMikdash would have been up on top. If we would remove this wall and the road below, it didn't exist, we would be at the time of the city of David, which was the original Jerusalem and the starting depot for the Olei Regel, the pilgrims, to congregate and start walking up towards the Temple Mount. As they ascended, they got to these steps. They would then go in through these gates, which are today closed. These Hulda gates led to tunnels that would bring the pilgrims to the Beit HaMikdash on top of the platform. It's now easier to picture this part of the Kinah. This whole area, though, reminds us of a very well-known story told in Masechet Makot Chaf Daled. Rabbi Akiva is walking in this area with his colleagues, and they see a fox roaming through the destruction. His colleagues start to cry, but Rabbi Akiva begins to laugh, and they're aghast. How could you laugh at a fox walking through this site that used to be glorious? And he says, paraphrasing, that the first part of the nevuah, of the destruction, came true. And I'm laughing because that means that the second part of the destruction, the rebuilding of the Beit HaMikdash and the ingathering of the exiles, will also come true. Ata Hashem lo'olam teshev kis'acha l'dor vador. Hashivenu Hashem elecha v'nashuva chadesh yamenu kekedem.
Adonai b'chiyo